Did you hear about the new trend of people wearing hats made out of cheese?
Oh yeah, I heard they're really popular with the dairy-loving crowd.
I bet they're the cheddarest thing you've ever seen.
I'm not so sure. I once saw a guy wearing a hat made out of spaghetti and meatballs.
That's absurd. Did he have a fork and knife to go with it?
No, but he did have a bib that said, "Pasta la vista, baby."
I wonder what other food items could be made into hats. Maybe a watermelon helmet?
Or a bacon beret. But let's be real, the real question is, how do you clean a cheese hat? Do you just sprinkle some crackers on top and call it a day?
Ha! Maybe you can dip it in some fondue and make a cheesy snack out of it.
Sounds like a plan. But be careful not to get any cheese in your eyes, or you might end up looking like a cheesy superhero.
Yeah, the Monster Mash doesn't have the same ring to it as the Monster Mash.
And don't forget about the Gouda Samaritan or the Britannic. The possibilities are endless.
I can already see it now, a group of people walking around with food hats, calling themselves the Snack Pack.
Or the Crumb Brigade. We could even start a new trend and call it Haute Cuisine Couture.
I like the sound of that. But I think we should stick to just eating our food, not wearing it.
Agreed. But hey, at least now we know that if we ever need a last-minute costume, we can just raid our fridge.
Or if we get lost in the woods, we can just make a trail of bread hats to find our way back.
Ah, the possibilities are endless. But for now, let's just stick to regular hats and leave the food for our stomachs.
Have you ever thought about what would happen if we could talk to animals?
Yeah, I mean, I already talked to my houseplants. But I'm pretty sure if I could talk to my dog, he would just complain about not getting enough treats.
I can imagine talking to a group of ants and they just start chanting, "All hail the Queen."
Or imagine being able to talk to a fly and he just tells you, "I'm not really flying, I'm just falling with style."
And what about talking to a chicken? "Hey, buddy, why did you cross the road? To get to the other side, you moron."
And don't forget about talking to a snake. "Hey there buddy, how's it going?" "Super swell, thanks for a skisking."
If we could talk to animals, we could start a reality show called The Real Housecats of Beverly Hills, or Keeping Up with the Koalas. I think we're on to something here. Let's pitch it to Netflix.
They'll love it. And we could even have a catchy theme song. Talk to the animals, learn their ways, it's the animal talk show craze.
We'll be rich and famous. And who knows, maybe we'll even discover that unicorns are real and they just really hate being called horses with party hats.
Yeah, or maybe we'll find out that Bigfoot is just a really hairy guy who got lost in the woods.
I can't wait to see what other mysteries the animal kingdom has in store for us.
Me neither. Let's start practicing our animal talk skills. Starts making animal noises.
Joins in moo, ba, quack, meow. We'll be pros in no time. Did you hear about the new trend of wearing pants on your head?
Oh yeah, it's all the rage. I'm thinking of trying it out myself.
I don't think that's a good idea. You might end up looking like a fool.
Well, at least I won't have to worry about losing my pants anymore. Plus, it's a great way to keep my head warm.
I guess that's one way to look at it. But what about when it's time to go to the bathroom?
Easy, Just pull them down and let it all hang out. It's the new way of doing things.
You're ridiculous. You know what else is ridiculous? That new reality show where they make people eat bugs for money.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. It's called Fear Factor. It's like Survivor, but with more puking.
And less survival skills. I mean, who in their right mind would want to eat a live scorpion for $5,000?
Hey, I'd do it for free. I'd even throw in a tarantula for good measure.
You're insane. And speaking of insanity, did you hear about the guy who tried to jump off a building with a bedsheet as a parachute?
Yeah, he must have been a real sheethead.
That's terrible.
Come on, that was a great pun. You have to admit it.
Fine, it was pretty good. But seriously, what possesses someone to try something like that?
Maybe he was just tired of sleeping on the job.
I don't think that's how it works.
Hey, you never know. People do crazy things when they're desperate. Like that time I tried to make a grilled cheese sandwich with an iron.
That's ridiculous. Did it even work?
No, but it did leave a nice burn mark on the ironing board. So it wasn't a total loss.
You're something else. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Likewise, my friend. Life would be boring without a little bit of absurdity and humor.
Hey, have you heard about the new fashion trend where people wear jackets with built-in air conditioners?
You mean like a jacket that's also a fridge?
Exactly. It's perfect for those hot summer days.
Except you'd have to lug around a generator to power it.
Nah. They run on human sweat. The more you sweat, the cooler you get.
So basically, you'll end up looking like a walking, talking popsicle.
Hey, at least I'll be a stylish popsicle. Plus, it's a great way to beat the heat and stay cool like the fawns.
Yeah, until you get mistaken for a refrigerator and people start putting magnets on you.
And then I'll have to use my magnetic personality to attract them to my cause.
Which is what exactly?
To revolutionize the world of fashion, one air-conditioned jacket at a time.
Good luck with that. You'll need more than a cool jacket to take down the fashion industry.
Who said anything about taking down the industry? I just want to keep my cool and stay hip, like a hopscotch playing kangaroo.
Ah, yes, because nothing says cool like a kangaroo playing hopscotch in an air-conditioned jacket. You're a real trendsetter, my friend.
Hey, I'll have you know that kangaroos are the height of fashion down under. Plus, think of all the puns we can make with hopscotch and cool.
I'm not sure I want to subject myself to any more puns, but go ahead, hit me with your best shot.
Alright, ready for this? Hopscotch your way to staying cool this summer.
Groans, I think I just threw up a little bit in my mouth.
Come on, that was golden. You're just jealous you didn't think of it first.
I'll stick to my plain old non-air-conditioned jacket, thank you very much.
Suit yourself. Just don't come crying to me when you're sweating like a pig in a sauna.
I won't, because I'll be too busy laughing at you in your refrigerator jacket.
Ha! Ha! Very funny. I'll have you know that I'm going to start a fashion revolution with this thing.
Sure you will. And I'm going to start a revolution by wearing socks with sandals.
Now that's just crazy talk. Did you know that there's a restaurant that serves nothing but air?
What do you mean, air?
I mean, you pay for a seat and a glass of air. It's called the Breatharian Bistro, I thought.
That's ridiculous. What do they serve for dessert, a slice of nothing?
No, they actually have a special air cake that's just a balloon filled with helium. It's so light, it practically floats off your plate.
I guess it's a good thing they don't serve beans or cabbage at that place. The air quality would be unbearable.
Ha! You're right. But speaking of unbearable air quality, did you hear about the guy who tried to light a fart on fire and ended up singeing his eyebrows off?
Oh man, that's classic. He should have known better than to play with fire around his back door.
Yeah, he learned his lesson the hard way. But let's change the subject before things get too heated.
Agreed. Hey, have you seen that new movie about the killer hot dog? It's called The Wiener Takes It All.
No way. I heard it was a real sausage fest.
Well, if you're a fan of horror comedy, it's a real wiener winner.
I'll have to check it out. Maybe we can grab some air cake and see it at the Breatharian Bistro.
Sure, but if we do, let's make sure we don't breathe too heavily or we might get charged extra for inhaling too much air.
Ha! Good one. I'll bring my oxygen tank just in case.
And I'll bring my nose plugs so I don't inhale any of your air farts.
Deal. We'll have a blast at the Breatharian Bistro.
Or should I say, a gas.
Have you ever thought about how strange it is that we call them buildings, even though they're already built?
Yeah, and while we're at it, why do we park in a driveway and drive on a parkway?
And why do we call it a hot water heater? If the water is already hot, why do we need to heat it?
And don't get me started on jumbo shrimp or boneless ribs.
I know, right? It's like calling a bald man curly.
Or like when people say they're literally dying when they're clearly not.
It's like the time I saw a sign that said a wet floor, and I thought, thanks for the warning, Captain Obvious.
Speaking of Captain Obvious, did you hear about that new superhero who can teleport bread?
What? Why would anyone need to teleport bread?
I don't know, but he's called the Loaf Ranger.
That's terrible. But I love it.
Yeah, I know it's cheesy, but sometimes you just gotta roll with the punchlines.
I get it. Like that time we went to that sushi restaurant and the waiter kept telling us to roll with it.
Ah, yes. The classic sushi joke. But you know what's even funnier than puns?
What?
Watching cats try to fit into tiny boxes.
Okay, now you're just being ridiculous.
Hey, it's all in good fun. Life is too short to take everything so seriously.
You're right. I'm just glad we can always make each other laugh, even if it's over silly things like teleporting bread and sushi puns.
Me too. It's what friends are for.